He said the rains descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not because it was founded upon a rock. But he said the one that hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice shall be likened unto a foolish man that built his house on the sand. And he said the rains descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall.
And I want to just say to you, it's not only that you do, but it is what you do and how you do it.
And your motive for doing what you do.
Absolutely. Today, my message this morning that I preached for the assembly today was about being prepared. And the first point was pray.
Absolutely.
Second point was position yourself. So we're gonna go, and there were two others, but we're gonna go there because what you do, your motive behind what you do,
it's
the
more
way
important
you
than
do
what you
it.
do.
Yes.
I always say that. If you go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, which is commonly referred to as the love chapter, it starts off. Paul starts off by saying, "If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, okay, and have not love, I'm a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal." And he goes on to say that if I offer my body to be burned,
I was thinking the same
if I give everything I have to the poor, if I have the gift of faith and
prophecy,
faith that can move mountains,
yeah.
and prophecy and the gift of knowledge and all these other things, okay? He says if they're not motivated, in other words, by love, it profits me nothing.
Give my body to be burned. I mean, people were talking about martyrdom.
Yeah.
For show purposes.
Exactly. If it's a self-centered motive, it doesn't profit you anything. It's got to be motivated by love. I always say if I were to reach in my pocket and if I handed you like $20 right now, the person over here, okay, you may not even see that person behind you, but I'm doing it for a selfish motive because I want to get recognition from it. So the motive behind what you do is more important than what you do. And you may be totally oblivious to it. You don't even see that person behind you. But what you don't realize is that maybe I'm trying to impress the person behind you. You know, and you may be thinking, oh, what a great guy. He's so caring and he's so generous and this and that. But you don't know my motive. So again, the motive behind what you do is far more important. It's crucial. You know, it also says in Matthew chapter 6, it says, be careful not to do your acts of righteousness before people to be seen by them. For if you do, then you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So it's your motive behind what you do is more important than what you do.
That's why he says that the heart is above all things deceitfully and wicked. Because why are you doing? Why did you... I know Jesus chose us, but why did we choose Jesus? What are we looking for from Christ? What are we expecting God to do? Are we expecting God to make a deal with us on something we know we have no business doing because it makes us comfortable? Why are you picking somebody up, giving them a ride to their destination? Are you picking them up to say something in their ear that's so you can trick them into something, or you couldn't control something at home, so you pick somebody else up and you say, well, hey, they need me right now. Why are we doing what we do? Why are we following Christ? What is our motive? What is our agenda? What is our purpose? Why are we walking as if we're in the will of God? Because it goes back to what you just said about doing your acts and your deeds before people, right, to impress people. Is your heart right? That's why David, he didn't commit the same sin twice. And when he prayed that prayer, he said, create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me.
Absolutely. And that's a really good point too, because you said, you know, David prayed that prayer. He said, create in me a clean heart. Okay. And you were talking about our motive for coming to Christ. Every last one of us, okay, when we came to Christ, our motive was not other-centered. Every last one of us had a selfish motive when we came to Christ. Did you know that? Every last one of us did.
Of course.
We came to the end of ourselves. We wanted God for God to get us out of a situation that we probably got ourselves into. We needed His help, right? Something happened that actually motivated us to come to God, and then God comes in and lives on the inside of us And as a result, he does his work in us as we yield ourselves to him. But it's God that works in us to will and to act according to his good pleasure.
And Solomon, which would probably be an expert on all this, said vanity, all of it's vanity. All of it's vanity. But you know, God is a jealous God. He said, I have no other gods before me. So, a psychiatrist or a psychologist would say that some paranoia is good. Because some paranoia is just merely guarding your gates and protecting yourself and being alert and aware of your surroundings. Bad paranoia is when you believe that everybody is against you. So, what will you do, and what are you going to do about your motive? Is your motive to appease yourself and your pleasures of your flesh, or is your motive to please God? What really is your motive? Why have you decided to truly come to Christ? See, Christ can forgive us, but do we really want to be forgiven? What are we asking for forgiveness for?
See, even in that, it's a self-centered motive. The emphasis is on us giving God everything that we have, which is nothing, and it's the great exchange. We give him all of what we think we are, and God gives us everything that he is, so that he gets the glory and he gets the credit.
I know that's right. Say that one again. Can you spit that one out again?
It's the great exchange. We give God everything that we believe that we have, which actually we don't have anything. Everything we have is because of him. It says over in Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, it says, what do you have that you haven't received? And if we have received it, why do you boast as if you haven't? In other words, the only thing that we did, we just held our hand out and we received it. So he says, what makes you different than anybody else? If you have the benefit of being raised in a particular family, okay, if you have the benefit of having a mom and a dad in the home, if you have the benefit of having access to education, it's all God. Peter says, each of you should use whatever gift that he's received from the Lord, okay, to serve others and to glorify God with it. It's a gift. It's a gift.
So we're talking about grace now.
Absolutely.
It is a gift, lest anyone should boast.
It's all grace. Paul talks about building on that foundation over in Corinthians chapter 3. And he talks about it. He said he laid a foundation as an expert builder.
Yes.
And if anyone